Hey guys, welcome to today's review of Brandon Sanderson's latest book, Skyward. Brandon Sanderson needs no introduction, especially as he's the author of Mistborn, The Reckoners. He finished the Wheel of Time series, and generally his books are bestsellers in both the fantasy and science fiction genre. I'm a huge fan of Brandon Sanderson. I mean, who isn't? He tends to have a large following simply because of two reasons. One is his writing tends to draw you in, and the second is his propensity to turn and twist tropes around. I mean, I've seen this in Reckoners, I've seen this in Mistborn, I've seen this even in the Cosmere series. Let's see if Skyward is the same. So what is Skyward about? Humanity has been pushed to the brink of extinction. They are marooned on the world with no way of getting off, and whatever civilization that they're able to build continuously keeps getting attacked by a bunch of aliens called the Krell in their starfighters. The only way for humans to respond is to have their own set of starfighters. Spencer, who's our main character, dreams of being a pilot like her father, and the story picks off from there. Let me just say that the prologue of this book is awesome. I mean, it starts off so well and it drew me in when the prologue ended. But then in the middle sections, right, even though I wasn't bored and I wanted to continue reading, I just felt as though Brandon Sanderson was not twisting tropes enough. I mean, it just felt like another yet by the numbers young adult book. Some examples: girl fighting against all the odds, she has a bunch of friends, there's a comedic relief, there is a Deus Ex Machina that comes in, so on and so forth. That is not to say there weren't some twists, but not the kind that I really expected. But then the last few chapters were super exciting. It has two things. One is an awesome climax with great action scenes, though a bit predictable. And then the conclusion opens up this series to a whole new universe, literally speaking. I mean, I wasn't really expecting that kind of twist at the end. Skyward is obviously all about starfighters. I mean, I mentioned that in the blurb at least a couple of times. And if you have starfighters, then you think Star Wars. And if you think Star Wars, you think dogfighting. Yes, there's plenty of dogfighting in this book. This is not the kind of fighting that Expanse does, where ships fire across each other from millions of miles away. Expanse tends to be slightly more realistic. Skyward is much more space opera-ish, but it is still exciting to read. And Brandon Sanderson's writing makes it appear as though you're in the thick of action. So if you like planes, or you like Star Wars, or you like movies like Top Gun, you are going to love this book. If I were to compare Skyward to the other books that Brandon Sanderson has written, the closest would be Steelheart. There are a few shades of Steelheart in this book, the most similar being the kind of protagonists we have. I mean, they all grow up with some childhood trauma, and that becomes their defining force in their life. But I would still rate Steelheart as a better book than this, because this book had more tropes in it than Steelheart did. Steelheart, for me at least, had a much more unique take on the superhero genre. I mean, after all, it is about how will people react if they get superpowers, whereas Skyward, like I've mentioned before, felt like your typical run-of-the-mill young adult book. The jury is still out on how the series will progress. I am hoping that Brandon Sanderson takes it into new territory, especially with the ending, but my fingers are crossed. This is not to say that the book is bad. The book is still great. It is a nice time pass. It is, after all, written by Brandon Sanderson with all his strengths and none of his weaknesses, except that it is not as great as other ones that he's written. If you liked this video, please subscribe, share this channel, give a thumbs up. Let me know in your comments about how I can improve this video, or if there's some book or TV series that you would like me to review. Thank you, and bye bye.